decent chance of it. They're not hard.
Are they long?
No. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 examples on this one page. And that's it. All right. Which of the following are exponential functions? For those that are exponential functions, state the initial value in the base. For those that are not, explain why not. So, number 2. Y is equal to 3 to the x. So, is this exponential?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exponent.
It's an exponential function. Well, I caution you that just having an exponent doesn't make it exponential. Having an exponential or an exponent that is a variable makes it exponential.
Okay, so because it's x, it's exponential. Okay.
That's it?
Well, no, that's not all it asks for. It says, then if it is exponential, state the initial value and the base.
Value is 1, right?
The initial value is 1.
And the base is 3?
Yep. Initial value is 1. Base 3.
What's that? I already did the first one.
4, same instructions. Y is equal to 4 squared.
Not exponential.
Not exponential. Why is it not an exponential?
It's a 2.
Meaning that this is what?
It doesn't have a variable in exponent.
It's a number.
Okay, it's just a constant function. Okay, because it just gives you out, that would be 16. Same instructions. Y is equal to x to the 1.3. Is this exponential? Why not?
Because the exponent is not.
Is that 1.3?
Yeah.
It's not a variable.
Okay, so this is a power function.
We have to be able to name what kind of functions they are.
Yeah, but I mean, you're not really gonna see anything
Other than those two?
other than something like that.
That's good news.
I mean, the other thing you could have said for something like this is that there's a variable as the base, meaning it can't be, so that's something else you could have said. That would have been sufficient to explain why it's not. All right, next ones. Compute the exact value of the function for the given x without using a calculator.
Why are the directions so confusing? Like when you do them, you're like, okay, but then when you read the directions, you're like, I have no idea what that means.
That's my problem. I have a lot of problems.
See, I will have to say, guys, when I was studying for the pre-cal test on Sunday, I wrote the directions in. And that was definitely very
It would probably help
helpful
when you
for
do your
test.
homework to actually write the instructions so
Yeah.
that you know what you're doing.
And it definitely helped me when it came to the test. Like, knowing the different theorems.
So all you do is plug 0 in for x
Yep.
and then solve it. Well, 5 or anything to
So
0.
it's 3
is
times 1, so it's 3.
3.
Yeah.
3, yay.
I thought it was just 3.5. I was confused for again. I was like, how the heck? But we're good. I got it.
Okay, well, this is actually number 7, not number 8. Just fun fact. I can't read, apparently.
Oh, so don't give us that one in the homework. Or give.
Yeah, you should get
Yeah, it was one that was in the homework, but that's okay. I'll just give you 8 instead. Okay, 10. I'm going to actually read the correct problem this time. 10 is f of x is equal to 8 times 4 to the x for x equal to negative 3 halves.
This is the easiest thing I think we've done all year.
I hate
Other than the fact that
3
the
halves, it's a
exponent is
fraction.
negative 3 halves.
So we're plugging it in. So 8 times 4 to the negative 3 halves.
I don't even know how to do that.
It's negative 6. But we're
Well, number 1 is negative, so you have to flip
Hold on.
it.
Okay, so the negative means it's going to the bottom. So I now have 8 times 1 over 4 to the 3 halves.
Oh, wait, 1 over 4.
Okay, if I just told you to do that what would you tell me to do?
4 times 4 times 4.
Okay, so that would be 4 times 4 times 4. Okay, if I told you this, what would you tell me to do?
It's 4 times 2. No, 4. Well, how? I don't know.
What's
No.
another way to write a
Wouldn't it just be
fraction
4 times half of
power?
4, right?
Makes fun.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I've never.
Means it's just take the square root.
Alright, I would not have known
That's those two things are equivalent statements.
that. Okay.
Meaning this is equal to 2. So what I would actually do to make my life easier, because 4 times 4 times 4, like, yes, I could do that. But certainly 2 times 2 times 2 would be a whole lot easier. So I'm going to now have 8 times 1 over. I've taken care of the 2 on the bottom, so 2 to the third. 2 times 2 times 2 is...
8.
And so that just gives you 1.
I still don't know how you did that.
I don't understand how you got the 2 cubed.
Because I basically took and I combined this. So when it says 4 to the 3 halves, whatever number's on the bottom of that fraction, you take that root of it. So if it was like 4 thirds, or like 4 to the 4 thirds, for example, you would take the cube root of 4,
Okay.
and then you would raise it to the 4th power, whatever your answer is.
Okay.
Now, obviously, I wouldn't expect you to know what the cube root of 4 is, but let's make it a little bit different. Let's modify this a little bit. Let's say instead I told you that it was 8 to the 4 thirds. You would take the cube root of 8 and raise it to the 4th power. So what's the cube root of 8?
2.
2. So it'd be 2 to the 4th, which is 16.
Okay. That makes sense.
So,
I think.
I wrote that all on the side, so hopefully I can figure it out. Okay.
I'm just gonna bubble that off. It's a different problem. Let's see.
Scared about sneezing now. When I'm in college.
Oh my gosh. My nose just like I didn't wear my Tuesday shirt today. I don't know where it is. Probably underneath this hot water.
All right, so 12, 11 and 12 go off the same table, okay? So the table that you're given is x, f of x, and you're given a g of x, okay? For the sake of this problem, we don't need the f of x, so I'm going to get rid of it, okay? We only need, for the one that we're doing, we only need g of x. So I'm not going to look at the f of x one. So the x values are -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. The g of x values are 108, 36, 12, 4, and 4 thirds. Now, this says, determine a formula for the exponential function whose values are given in the table.
Ew.
Okay? So, number 12 specifically wants g of x. I want to know what that's equal to. So, the form for the exponential is a times b to the x. Okay? Meaning, I'm going to have my initial value be a, so that's when x is equal to 0. Okay? So where is x equal to 0? Or what is it when x is equal to 0? 12. Times. Now I have to figure out when I raise x to the 1st power, how do I get from 12 to that number? 12 times what gives me 4?
12 times 3rd. Oh, I see.
And then you would just check it and say, okay, let's switch it and do the -1. So if I put -1 up here, okay, that's going to flip that fraction. So I'm going to put 12 times 3, which is 36, which is what I had here. So that's how I can check it and make sure it's right.
Wait. So how I'm confused. How did you know to start with the 12?
Because the a is the initial value, which is when x is equal to 0. Because if x equals 0, this part's just equal to 1. So x equals 0, I have 12.
So when in doubt, just always pick the 0.
Yeah. And then the other one, you just figure out whatever the initial value is times what gives you this number. And I would always use the 1 if it's there, because that's going to be the easiest to use. So, there's only one problem like that. And you're not going to actually have one like that on your test. You just need to... Basically, this is more so that you can see it and understand it, because if you do go on, like, past this class, you may have to, like, set up problems with stuff like this, like for calculus. So, anyways.
You know, as a kid, I always thought that, like, the classes like this were insane. Like, calculus and stats. Now I'm at the age where I have to take them, and
Sad.
yeah, that's good for you. I'm smart.
Yeah.
Someone use my word. I feel famous.
I think you need to email Mr. Starks and tell him that you're mad that he's not teaching too.
He was all mad at us for not being there.
He was.
yesterday. He said, "Where is these obsolete games?" I said, "I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was like in.
I would much rather be sitting in your Bible class than doing mine."
All right, 32 and 34, and then we're done.
Yeah, we jumped.
State whether the function is an exponential growth function or an exponential decay function, and describe its end behavior using limits.
Ew.
Stupid.
That
Well, I recognize some of those words.
I don't really like the
Like,
whole limit thing.
Function.
Then you better not
I'm
take
just kidding.
calculus.
I recognize.
Don't worry, I wasn't playing.
I really wasn't planning on it.
The
Last
limits
time that
and-
you get to spend with me.
Are there limits in stats?
Are there limits in stats? No. Not the stats I
is way
teach.
different.
Stats I took in college? Yeah.
I'm not.
Don't.
Stats.
Can you not take math
I'm
in
not
college?
taking
Like,
math in
that's
college
possible.
if that's an option.
You have to take something.
That is so.
Can you just take like
Wait.
oh,
If I take AP Stats and that counts as a college credit, then do I have to take math if I get a high enough score on the AP test?
Well, it depends what your major requires, because some majors require like a college algebra, but you could potentially club out of it if you take a test.
Gab took any math. I would be wrong though. I wouldn't know.
But was she in the last set of classes to take dual enrollment with Mr. Cass?
You're
That would
right,
be
that's
why.
I don't think Gab is about to do it.
wait, I have a question. If you
I
like
think she clubbed out of it, because I remember her sending
I
me a
think so,
thing
too.
saying she was testing to try to test out of pre-cal,
Yeah.
and if you can
I'm
test
pretty
out
sure
of
it was.
something of that level, then you typically don't have to take it.
I think you're right.
if you take a
You're
dual enrollment
definitely
class and like say you get like a B or something, and it like you passed it, so like it transfers over as a credit regardless if it's gonna be for that class or not. But like, does that go on your record for college already? Like you're already starting off college with B,
For what?
any class that you're taking for
So
dual
like for
enrollment.
instance, if we're taking
Dual
history-
enrollment, yes, if you transfer it. If you want it to count, it goes with you.
That stinks.
Well, that's just great.
I mean, I don't.
So then you can never be on like the dean's list already? If you have a B?
No, it's the dean's list is per semester. You can be on it one semester and not the next.
Okay. Not that that's ever gonna happen anyway, but I'm just thinking.
All right. So, is this an exponential growth or decay function?
I don't know how many. Oh, okay, let's think. Is it less than 1? If A, I don't even know what A is.
A is 1.
Okay, A is greater than 0, so it's increasing. Yes. Growth. But B has to be greater than 1 too.
So is 1 over...
E greater than B. I mean greater than 1. I
In
don't
the
know.
alphabet.
Well, it's a
no.
fraction.
No.
Alphabet? No.
E is 2.717.
It's decay.
How do
Okay.
you know that E is 2.7?
I just do. Actually, the
Oh.
17th of February is what they say is E Day.
Okay, it's just decay and we'll stick with that.
Okay, it's decay because this is less than 1.
I'm still
real easy.
confused.
The limit as x goes to negative infinity.
Forgot about that part.
So as x basically gets to a negative like 500, okay, this flips this over,
So it'd be positive.
so it's positive. So it's positive infinity.
And it wouldn't flip over so the other one's negative.
No, these ones don't work that way.
I don't know. Wait.
Now, as x goes to infinity, you end up with 1 over some very, very large number, which is close to what? 1 divided by 1,000,000 is what?
Wait,
A million?
million.
Not like legitimately tell me what it's equal to, but what is it close to?
999,000.
What is 1 divided by that close to?
1 divided by 999,000. 999.
Point zero 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 something.
Yeah. Like
So 0. When you have growth and decay functions, okay, going back up to my pictures. As you go to negative infinity, whoop, it's going up to infinity. Okay. As it goes to infinity, it's getting close to 0.
Wait, so if you know which one it is, you pretty much know what the limits are. Like if it's growth, it has to be 0 and then positive infinity, and then the other one. How you can cheat?
Then
Oh,
if it's
not cheating.
growth, if it's negative infinity, it's 0. If it's positive infinity, it's infinity.
Do it anyway.
So just because of the graphs, you already know what the limits are. You don't even have to like.
Exactly.
That's so nice.
I didn't write the negative in, that's why I was confused.
34. F of x is equal to 0.75 to the negative
I
x.
got the 34.
What?
I forgot to write the problem number.
Oh.
Like I just started writing and I was like, wait.
It's growth. I think. Am I right?
I don't know. Are you? Why
Well,
do you say
it's
that?
negative x. So first off, it would be like 1 over 0.75 x. Or would that not matter?
So what I would do to think about this, okay, I'm leaving this here and we'll see if Hope is right, okay?
It's wrong.
0.75 is 3 over 4, yes,
Yes.
Correcto.
to the negative x. Because it's negative, if I flip it, I can make it positive. So it'd be 4 over 3
Ha.
Growth.
to the x. So
Look at me. go.
despite whether or not she knew why, she was right.
I did know why it looked big. So I said growth.
Looked big. 0.75 is less than 1.
Yeah, but I knew you were gonna do that whole flip thing and then it'd be more than one.
Okay.
I'm smart like that. All right. Well then, your limits. 1 second.
Limit.
So
So
a
it
in
would
this
be
case would
negative
still be 1
infinity.
though, right? Like
Yeah.
if you
Or
had
no, it'd be
negative.
0. 0.
And then the limit as x goes to infinity.
It's
Positive infinity. I mean negative infinity. I don't know. There's not but so many options.
It can't be negative infinity because it's not going below the x-axis. Not that it can't ever, but not with these problems will it go below. It would have to have a negative in front of it that flips it over.
We did it.
All right, so your problems, they're not due tomorrow. I'm going to give you tomorrow in class to do them.
Nice.
And we're going to also start notes for 3.2 tomorrow, but
Chocolate covered pretzels are more important.
that's a fact. 1, 3, let's see, I did 7. So 8, 9, 11, 31, and 33.